that we pride ourselves on excellence, that we provide a child-centered environment that challenges all learners to achieve to their highest potential. It further states that we can only accomplish this through a partnership with a supportive community. In my role as principal, I will need to make decisions that are going to affect everyone in this learning environment, but most significantly our students. We currently have 355 students in grades K through 2. We have 5 classroom teachers at each grade level, a special educator at each grade level, as well as 2 instructional tutors in grades 1 and 2. Staff at our school embrace an inclusive philosophy that support all learners, not just students with disabilities. Our special educators and tutors help general educators create flexible grouping, differentiation, and personalized learning by collecting and reviewing data systematically throughout the school year and providing in-class support, and in many cases, they co-teach. Benchmarking and progress monitoring our students are the cornerstones of our tiered system of interventions. This is an essential requirement of our response to intervention program. It's what we do when children can't learn. We need to know where the students are in order to bring them to higher levels. Our special educators and support staff work closely with the general education staff to accomplish this work. In addition, they work as consultants to the general educator and provide the needed support to differentiate the curriculum, develop effective strategies, and to help create smaller, more flexible groups to meet the needs of our diverse population. Reducing a special educator and 2 tutors at the primary school will impact all learners at each of the grade levels in the areas of inclusive practices, co-teaching, and response to intervention. The student-to-teacher ratio will increase from 16:1 to 22:1 or higher, as the 2 remaining special educators of our school and tutors will have responsibilities for now 3 grade levels rather than 1. Their caseload will increase, which includes additional assessments and testing, meetings, and writing of educational plans, hence decreasing the amount of time for direct intervention in instructional services, benchmarking, and progress monitoring. This will result in the general education teachers changing the way they must instruct. Teachers will need to be students will be pulled from their classrooms for their services rather than included in the general education classrooms with their peers. We have made enormous strides in this area since 2005 and now risk returning to an outdated methodology that research points to as having poor results in the long term. In order to meet the ever-changing needs of our students, both academic as well as socially and emotionally, it is crucial that we maintain the level of service that will help our students reach their potential. We know that all students are capable of learning and are entitled to excellent instruction. The music program at our school is being suggested as one of the reductions. We know that all students have talents and can excel. This is just one of the many guiding beliefs of our school district. The music program here in Lunenburg speaks for itself. Music helps them learn to focus. It offers students another way to demonstrate and integrate learning and have fun at the same time. It is considered one of the other intelligences. School districts across the Commonwealth have cut the fine arts programs throughout the years. It seems that it's one of the first places principals look to cut when faced with difficult budget decisions. Lunenburg has never looked at it this way. Although there have been reductions in the arts since my tenure began in 2005, we have fought to provide and maintain a quality program in both art and music education. One need only attend one of the many performances throughout the district to understand the passion there is in this community for the music program. Sadly, chorus has become an after-school program for our elementary students, when just 5 years ago there were 2 choruses at the school. Statistics from a nationwide survey in the Gallup organization show that 95% of Americans believe that music is a key component in a child's well-rounded education. 80% of the respondents agreed that music makes the participants smarter. 78% believe that learning a musical instrument helps students perform better in other subject areas, and 88% believe participation in music helps children with their discipline and self-control. It is apparent that music and art programs in schools are crucial in a child's education. You might ask why I chose to recommend music and not another program. Frankly, the answer is I have nowhere else to go. Do we cut art, library, guidance services? All are fundamental and essential to meet the needs of our students. I do not know how we will provide the well-rounded education our students are entitled to by making these reductions. One of the hallmarks of our early literacy program is a program called Lexia. We've been using it for over 10 years. We probably can ask Mrs. DeCantis how long we've been using Lexia, but long before I was hired. And, but it is web-enabled, and it's their first year it is web-enabled, so with that becomes a higher price tag. And I can probably save a tutor by cutting Lexia, is what it's coming down to. So Lexia provides differentiated practice, embedded assessment, and targeted instruction for our students school-wide and has been for over 10 years. Lexia is the breakthrough in reading education that provides a research-proven method for students to acquire foundational reading skills. It's norm-referenced, embedded assessment, providing a prediction of student outcomes and prescriptions of intensity of instruction, all without interrupting the flow of instruction to administer a test. It provides the necessary practice in order to allow teachers to spend more time teaching, students to spend more time learning, and where all students' reading skills are improved. Everyone can participate in Lexia, not just children struggling with early reading. Eliminating Lexia could potentially jeopardize the successful acquisition of early reading skills and significantly reduce our ability to provide proven interventions for all beginning readers. My last recommended reduction is the library aide. We have a library aide that works a few hours, two days a week. Cutting the library aide would necessitate shifting all those responsibilities of managing the vast collection, conducting research with and for students and teachers, and checking out books to our already half-time librarian who doubles as our art teacher. This would significantly change how the library program is managed, reducing the time that students spend on activities that can help increase their literacy skills. As you know, our library art teacher integrates these two positions very nicely, and she does a wonderful job. However, I worry that if she has to also manage the collection and all the work that goes along with that, that she would be doing more about managing those activities rather than interacting with students, collaborating with teachers, or teaching research and literacy skills. And I shared with my staff that I haven't realized the impact that losing the Children's Services Director or the Instructional Services Director is going to have on our school and on our students. I'm still trying to put my head around that. It's very difficult. I get teary. They're my colleagues as well as my support system. And I think that all the principals could speak the same. Sorry. Thank you.
Thanks. Before you sit down, Christine, I know it's awkward, but are there any questions from the board at all at this point in time? I mean, the one, yeah, it's not really a question, but
something afterwards,
you know, we look out and
I'm staying.
And it's a pretty sobering message that we're delivering tonight, but it's a very real message, and I hope everybody who's sitting there can really appreciate the magnitude and the difficulty of the recommendations that are coming forward. But it's incumbent upon all of us to internalize that and then externalize it in getting support for the override. Right? So this is worst case scenario, and in this town with an override, it's very possible that worst case scenario is going to happen, but it won't if we can utilize the somber faces that we all have and really use that in a positive way to go out and get the override that we need. So with that, are there any questions from the audience for primary school? Greg, did you have a?
I just wanted to thank you, Christine, and apologize for putting you in the position of having to contemplate this dismantling of that school.